And we're here. And we've made it.
We did
Fashionably late. We're fashionably late as usual. It's fine.
I just dropped my red hot my hot sauce. Sorry about that.
You know, if it was sriracha, that would be a national tragedy.
That would be bad.
Hot sauce, like there's lots of Frank's Red Hot, but like
everyone should have Frank's Red Hot on their work desk, yeah, for sure.
Along with their chainsaw and their fire hydrant remover tool.
I had to move the chainsaw out of the office because I was getting too much flack about it. So.
I feel like flack is the appropriate word when it resorts to chainsaws and everything else. Welcome to Prep Talk Live, episode 24. I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. With me, as always, is Cliff the Urban Prepper. What is up, Tup? How was your week? How are things? We're fancy this week. That's the plan.
Yeah, we made it. Sorry for I think I was MIA for most of the day. It's been nonstop
That's all
work.
Right. I got the alert.
Yeah, you got the alert.
I get the alert. Paired channels. Cliff got my message.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that's going good. It's super busy with all sorts of stuff. Trying to get ready for summertime. Like the school's wrapping up for my kids, so a lot that's going on with that to wrap it up, and trying to finish some videos. But man, it's just like I keep falling asleep once it gets too warm. If I stop moving and if it's like 10 something at night and I'm like warm in a blanket, I'm like, oh, I got to finish that video, and then next thing I know, I'm out. And so, but yeah,
that's just the way it is, you know.
It's always fun talking with you, that's for sure, because we get to bring some joy into the world. That sometimes not always the case. That's not always communicated by out there. So
exactly, as my
we're the bougie preppers, yeah,
from City Prepper and Canadian Prepper today. Bubble burst. It's all coming to an end.
Man, I mean, prepping's a kind of it could get dark. You could because there's a lot of topics that are like scary, and they're like,
oh yeah.
If you go full into that, it's I don't know, it could be pretty depressing, I think. So that's why talking about bougie preps and laughing about things helps. At least for me, it helps me keep sane during all the craziness out there. So
do you want to know what I spent most of my day? Well, I mean, I had work and meetings and all that sort of stuff, but I spent an inordinate amount of time this morning trying to figure out how to appropriately spell bougie without being inadvertently offensive to anyone. I had no idea exactly how on the line I accidentally could have been. So
it's a word I've never had to spell before, but yeah.
I know. There's like 3 different versions in Urban Dictionary, depending on like the nuance of what you're trying to say. And I didn't think it was nuanced. I thought it was very straightforward, but I was like, all right, so we're crossing our fingers. If anyone is inadvertently offended by this, I apologize. If I spelled it incorrectly, let me know.
That's pretty good.
But I feel like this is the most accurate interpretation of kind of where we're going with the evening. So yeah.
Did you have you been watching Kenobi? No, sorry.
Oh yeah. So we've been watching Kenobi. My lightsaber is actually over there. I'm getting a mount. I'm gonna put my lightsaber back there. But I have not seen today's episode. Okay. We had a quick break, so we opted for family Ms. Marvel time, and then Kenobi happens maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow morning.
Okay, got it. I haven't been a fan of it, but you're gonna like this episode. And I woke up at like 6:30 a.m. before everyone was awake, and I watched Kenobi. But that's nothing having to do with.
I've heard it's disturbing. That one of the things on my Facebook said disturbing scene, and there's a warning at the beginning, and I was like, oh my goodness, do they put Baby Yoda in a wood chipper? Like, what happens? What's going on?
They have the same message before Prep Talk Live too.
That is true.
So it gets Prep Talk Live gets dark sometime and disturbing. So
if you're coming to Prep Talk Live looking for the doom zoom, it will be very disturbing to you. The amount of fun and excitement that happens. There's color. It's a very upsetting place if you're looking for just gray men with camo. It's just not your thing. Yeah. By the way, we got all of our usual suspects are here.
Good.
We got James is here. I saw that Chuck is looking forward to the bougie preppers. Pony Girl is in here.
Pony Girl's here. I think it's safe to start. It's safe to go because that's our.
Yeah, exactly. We got Selena's here. We got lots of different people from Germany. We've gone global again. Good. This is very exciting, and not in the way that like the Russian bot people are in the chat. I mean, it's always good to be noticed by the Russian bots. But this is not that sort of international.
Yeah.
This is an actual person, from what I can tell.
I think so.
So yeah, prep wise this week, my garden is having issues. It's a sad state of affairs in the garden. The tomatoes specifically are not faring well against the slugs. I need to find like 2 or 3 hours this weekend to try to redo the tomatoes. That's a whole.
My wife took over our tomato operation because she thought I sucked at it, and so she took it over. She bought a big mound of compost, so we have all this. It smells like crap in the driveway right now, but it's
literally
this big. It looks like the Jurassic Park scene where that's a big pile of yes. It looks just like that. But she has like tons of tomatoes in like these container gardens. She's and then but the problem is that these deer has been coming and just obliterating our preps, like our food. We're going and they just come in and just like demolish it. So now she's getting these like sprinkler alarms for pests and stuff that are motion censored to try to spray them with I don't know.
Maybe put one of those in the driveway for any vehicle thieves.
Well, I was thinking it would be a good. I was thinking of doing a review of it if I have time, but because it would be a good deterrent, I think, like for the driveway. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Also, if hey, she's had a long day or whatever, and you come home talking about the pepper bulge, she could just hit that thing, spray you down a little bit, send you off to another room.
That's why we have the disclaimer at the beginning of our videos and I saw someone already noticed that we went poop already within the first 5 minutes of the.
Yeah, exactly. It did not take long for us to get there. That's just it's kind of it's a homey place for us. We feel very comfortable and relaxed there. We can let it all go. That's what we do. All right. So we're a little different timing. Tup's got a busy schedule. He and his millions and millions of fans.
Yeah, I got it's not fan related. I have an appointment or I have a event to go to, and so then I'm like, okay, we'll do rapid fire bougie preps.
He's the man of honor. He's being honored for something. I don't know, having the most millions of fans. Anyway, so you're getting a golden chainsaw, I think is what's happening. But in the meantime, we're gonna try and get through as much as we can. So bougie preps. That's our topic for today.
Yeah.
We fancy. We've talked a lot about it on our streams. If you go back and listen to them, if you want to go listen to them on a podcast, check out your favorite podcast app. We have the podcast there. Or go back and look at the previous streams. Totally fine. The bougie preps are kind of the fancier preps. They're like, I think in prepping and preparedness, you have a wide spectrum of items and gear. There's kind of baseline stuff, and then everyone can get a little bit fancier, spend a little more money on something, or you go baseline. A regular flashlight, totally fine. The type of flashlight that can see 4,000 feet and melt a tree, like that's maybe a little bougie. So today we just wanted to talk about some of the preps that we have that are a little on the fancier side. They don't need to be. We all have, the Bic lighters, and we have the, regular cordage and all of those sorts of things, tarps and stuff. But when you get in this a little bit, you want to have a little fun. You get something a little nice for yourselves or for your family or, whatever. So we're going to talk bougie preps. Would you like to kick us off with your?
Well, I didn't bring. I don't know if I call them favorites, but I'm trying to figure out how to kickstart this conversation, because there's bougie preps for different categories, as you mentioned. I think just from an EDC standpoint, you could go bougie right off the bat there with certain flashlights. The super high powered ones that are like 30,000 lumens or something like that that cost like $300 or $400. I think high powered flashlights have become bougie preps. I think because at the end of the day, a lot of people just use their cell phone, their light on their cell phone for their flashlight. So do you really, for EDC at least, do you really need to have like a 50,000 lumen flashlight? So I think that's probably a pretty good one to kick off with, I think.
And based on that too, the type of phone you would have is kind of a bougie prep, because you can
Phones
get
bougie,
regular regular burner phone, and that would be totally fine. You don't need the brand new Galaxy or iPhone or whatever.
Yeah.
So, some of us, we fancy, we get the, the newest one, the latest and the greatest. So yeah, I would say flashlights. I have just a bunch of random, like, I'd call them creature comforts. From a prepping perspective, like, you can use them for prepping, and I have used them for prepping. I use them a lot for camping. But they're, I would say, over the top. They're a little more next level than what you might see at a standard campground. I was gonna try. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can do this, because I took some pictures, and I'm gonna see if I can actually share these. I don't know if this is gonna work. This is our first
You're doing a slideshow?
try.
Is that...
Let's see.
Whoa, you did it.
Oh my goodness. We did it. We made it happen.
That's that's bougie camping right there for sure.
It's so you haven't even seen the bougie part of it yet.
Yeah.
So this is the Camp Chef oven. So it's very functional. It worked really well. We took it camping with us a couple of years ago. You can cook. It has a propane stove on top, so you don't need to bring, like, if you've got a Coleman camp range or something like that, you can use this and it totally works. It's fantastic, but it's also got an oven, and inside you can, like, bake things. So some people would do like a Dutch oven. That would be a more standard way.
Yeah.
But this has, like, temperature gauges and things, like, you can kind of set it and do some stuff. And if you are doing that sort of thing, you can also, then this is where it gets bougie. This is where we go next level with this whole thing. So I made chocolate chip cookies at a campground after we had been at the lake. Now, that's not something normal people do. Like, normal preppers do not go and make chocolate chip cookies in their oven that they brought with them. But, if there was a disaster or something, we could totally pull that out, put it with the propane tank. We've got the hookup for the big tank, and, we could make bread. You can make other things, but you can also make chocolate chip cookies. So if you go camping with me, or there was a little a time where we did that. The problem is the thing weighs a ton. So it is not a practical thing to, like, bug out with. But you could definitely use it at home. So I'm a big fan of the creature comforts of the chocolate chip cookies and the oven.
I think anything like glamping, I think is what they call it for those kind of things. Like anything glamping is probably bougie preps. Like I think, like, the big solo stove, that's like the big outdoor stove. They're pretty cool, but I think it might be a little bougie too. What do you think of those?
So I have a picture of those, but I didn't get it loaded into my little thing. Yeah, so I love that. That's the thing. Like,
it's awesome, but it's bougie.
Oh yeah, you could get a standard fire pit, and they work great.
Clint Eastwood would never approve. I mean, he'd have some rocks and some wood, and that's it. But bougie people, we get the solo.
Dig a hole.
The $400 thing.
It's stainless steel. Yeah. It's amazing. And now they have attachments. It used to just be that you had the solo stove and it would get warm. Yeah. Now they have attachments, so you can, like, diffuse the heat, which is great. But they also now have cooktops that you can get. So I've got, like, a griddle. Have I used the griddle on it yet? No, because I haven't needed to. No. But I got it in case, because, that would make it more of a preparedness thing. But I just like the solo stove. It's just awesome. I think
totally anything that, like, electrical based, there's a lot of stuff. Like, they have, like, the it's like a cooking stove, kind of like a jet boil, but you have some battery, and, like, powers a battery that you could then charge things. I think that's a little, man, what's that called? The bio stove.
BioLite.
BioLite, that's a bougie prep, I think.
Yeah.
What do
you know what? They have it at Costco.
Jet boil might even be bougie prep, because I don't know. Like, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think anything short of anything beyond
anything triple digits, I think might have to fall into bougie preps.
Wood and fire. Okay, we can set a monetary, monetary thing. Yep. Okay. That a lot more of my things then qualify as bougie preps at that point. If we're gonna define it like that.
Well, I don't. I have to think of a lot. If it's
because, like, I was thinking, like.
Yeah, if it's four digits, that's bougie for sure.
Like, it needs to have wheels. Yeah. It needs to have wheels or something at that point. I was thinking about, like, that $100 mark, but I was looking, like, hard drives. I'd say those are a reasonable prep. Like, that's not super bougie. That's a pretty standard thing now.
So are we saying
those are $150
over? Is there a price range for bougie preps? Should it be $500 and above, or?
I feel like it's relative to whatever the base case would be.
Okay.
So like for the fire pit, like, okay, a solo stove is $200 or $300. You could get a fire pit that's $50, or you could just, build a hole and do it like that way, and it's even less. So the fact that you're spending significantly more for style and a little bit of feature, like, I feel like that's the bougie part.
Yeah. I have there's I've been testing added it's called the waterful barrel, which is like a pressurized 55-gallon water barrel rain barrel.
Ooh.
It's really nice. It's awesome. Going to be reviewed soon. But it's a little bougie because it's expensive. It's like $400 to $500, I think. And
totally.
And versus a normal like 55-gallon bucket is double digits. So
yeah, no, I think all of those sorts. It's the things that you pay extra for, where you could get away with it, and I think that's the difference too when we think about being prepper adjacent. Plug Merchant Link and Bio. When you talk about there's bushcraft and there's homesteading and there's survivalists, in that spec, you can do a lot of things with a whole lot of nothing. Or you can spend a bunch of money on things that do extra cool stuff. And that's, I think, where the bougie piece comes in.
I remember the Canadian Prepper had the mono walker. Do you remember that? It was like the bug out. Instead of having it on your back, it's like this cart that you like strap on your waist, and it has like wheels, and you could carry like a human being in this backpack that you're like walking with that. You check mono walk. But looks pretty sweet actually, and that you have full hand movement. You could run with it, and I'm like, oh cool, I want to get that. And I'm like, how much is it? It's like, well, $1,000 or something like that. I'm like, oh crap, that bougie prep.
That's like his electric scooter thing. It was like $7,000 or $10,000. I was like, oh my goodness,
that's a bougie prep.
Yeah, exactly.
But I still want
it. Just get them. Yeah, exactly. Just get a mech suit. Yeah. Like, come on, we'll just go around in one of those, or we'll figure it out.
Are gas masks bougie preps?
Good question.
Like the kind of hazmat stuff, because I dabble. I dabble in some of those, but
exactly.
I don't know.
I think too the Mira ones.
Mira's a little
those
pricey.
Are spendy.
They're a little spendy.
But see, I don't know for the spendy.
Yeah.
Is it spendy because of the quality, and that's an area where there's no real middle ground? Like if you're in a chemical situation or something like that, like
you don't want to cut corners on those guys.
Yeah, exactly. Versus like a fire pit, like, okay, if I get a lower quality one, it's still gonna, like, the wood's still gonna burn.
Yeah,
it's still gonna be hot. It's just maybe not gonna look as nice.
I think there's some clothing options, especially when you get into ultralight gear. There's some bougie jackets that you could probably get by with a basic, especially if it's for your bug out bag. Like, do you really need to have like the $400 ultralight 0.1 ounce jacket?
I was thinking about that in relation to a lot of the preps that I have that I would consider to be the bougier ones are for more the glamping style. The other one that I love is the hot water heater that I have.
Yeah.
That thing is unbelievable. Love it so much. Let me see if I can share. I have a little video presentation. But the hot water heater is, it's super fun, and we use it for showers. We use it for cleaning dishes.
Yeah.
We use it for coffee in the morning. Like, it's fantastic, but it's big. Like, you wouldn't take this hiking, like backpacking with you. So you would probably want some other something, you're paying for small and light if you're going backpacking. So I feel like there's kind of the bougie, like, okay, if you're going backpacking, then maybe it's getting the lighter weight and the price to weight ratio, as opposed to if you're more glamping and car camping or whatever, then you're looking more feature and function wise, style, design. Does it look nice? But yeah, it's a fantastic thing. It just hooks up and it just
look at that. I love these. I like this new camera angle that you've integrated into the system.
We're trying some things. I was like, we'll give it a shot and see. And basically, I've had this footage for like 2 years because I took it planning to make like a camping review video,
Yeah.
and that has still not ever been done
I
before.
have so
So
much of that kind of footage myself. So
I
it's
was like, oh, I'll use it. But yeah. So anyway, so I love that. That's another one. And that was like 150 or $200. So it's not inexpensive. It's not super bougie. It's not super expensive, but
yeah.
it's more expensive than if you were just boiling water on a stove.
Do you think that some of the like the power banks, like the battery power banks, are considered bougie preps? Like I know like Jackery is pretty affordable, but then when you start getting to some of the energy ones, they $2,000 type thing. I don't know.
Yes.
Do we count those as bougie or not, or is it fair market value? I'm not sure.
I think it depends because I think then you're talking about what are you powering?
Yeah.
You can get away with like, okay, if I just want to charge my phone, like a standard phone charger, maybe even like a nice anchor that'll charge it 10 or 12 times or something, like, okay. If you've got like a CPAP and so you need
Hmm.
a battery that'll take it through the night, like, okay, I could see that. When you're talking like the 2000 watt, like solar generators and things like that, now you're talking about powering like refrigerators and laptops and more of those sorts of things. And I think that may be where we start to get into the bougie line a little bit
Okay.
of, in that situation, do you need all of the things that would require that power?
I think that on a Canadian Preppers, his website, like the CanadianPreparedness.com, there should be like a little bougie prep like star indicator. Like when people are shopping, we could go, okay, that's or on wherever we're shopping at eBay, there BP, that's bougie prep. So
Yeah, exactly.
they need to
Exactly.
have some kind of
What's
indication on that on online shopping sites. So,
yeah, what's bougie to one person may not be bougie to someone else.
but
That is very true.
yeah, that's true. But maybe we could have our official, like we've labeled, kind of like Consumer Reports. We've like labeled it. Hey, this is an official bougie prep by Prep Talk Life. So
Exactly. I like that. Some sort of a badge.
yeah, so kind of bad. You won. Yeah,
Yeah, the new one that I've got that I haven't tried it out yet. But I got it because we've been talking about it for camping, and then I got it. I just have to. It had to be warm enough to really try it. I got an electric cooler, but it can be solar charged, and it's not the Sun Run or Sun Trust or Sun something. The ones that make the solar oven tube things.
I know what you're
Um,
talking about. Yeah, electric
yeah.
coolers, I think, are bougie preps.
Oh, they're totally bougie preps. And this one has a freezer function. It has 2
Yeah.
different sides. It's got an app. Any prep that has an app is a
Oh,
bougie prep.
jeez.
That is
That should be an indicator.
exactly. If I can change the temperature from the Bluetooth on my phone, this is not a standard prep. This is next level.
Yeah, I
So
was looking at that, and then I just like, okay, I'm just gonna get a normal cooler with some ice and call it good type thing. But yeah,
yeah.
but I
So
still want one. I still want one.
yeah, exactly. And I'm waiting to see if it works. They went on sale at Costco. I got, as per usual, I got it through Costco. I like to get all of my questionable higher end preps from Costco because then if they don't work, I can just take them back.
Yeah.
So I've got it. We're gonna test it out here in the next couple months before we go camping, make sure that it'll actually keep things cool. But if
Yeah.
it works, then like that would be super
When
convenient. We don't have to get ice as much.
when are you getting your Costco sponsorship? I feel like you're
God,
due. Like
you know what? I would love it if Costco wanted to
because some
sponsor
kind of
or just
spokesperson. Yeah,
if Costco just wanted to comp my membership. Like that would be totally fine. I would
that'd be
love
nice.
that.
That'd be sweet.
It's super annoying that they don't have an affiliate program.
Well,
Like when we mention things on Amazon,
yeah.
you could at least like put a link. If you do it at Costco, there's nothing, but like they're just so good that you can't not mention the stuff. It's
It'd be
very
cool if they had a
upsetting.
like because they have the normal membership and then like the executive one. It'd be cool if they had a prepper membership where you could get certain items are like prepper items, like for your pantry or for
Mhm.
long term, or like bougie preps or those kind. Like that, I think that'd be pretty cool. Like
Yeah. Yeah. They have
to
a
encourage
they
more people to prep.
yeah, they have it's not Mountain House. I think it's Augustin Farms maybe
They
or something.
yeah, they have a few already.
And you can get the like year supply and the all the stuff. And I'm like, I'm like, that's lovely, but I'm more tempted to just go next level and get the freeze dryer myself and make it all and try to do that whole
if you
situation.
had your Costco prepper membership, where then when if you bought like rice and you buy
Hmm.
beans and chili, and there's certain items that you get extra percentage back at the end of the year type thing, that'd be cool. Or it
Yeah.
goes into a prepper fund, or I don't know. You get some precious metals at the end of each year from Costco.
Exactly.
I think it'd be awesome.
What's the Costco price on spot silver? Let's talk about where.
But you could get a special Costco's silver round. You get some certain money back.
Exactly. I think what it is you get the like Costco points rewards or whatever, and you just go into the jewelry aisle and you just buy like rings or necklaces or something like that and do it that way.
Are any long-term food prepper food? Is any of that bougie preps? Food, I think, is like you need it. Like I'm trying to think if anything's.
You need it.
Caviar or something. You probably don't need it for your.
So I saw a freeze dried company that was advertising whole freeze dried filet mignon steaks.
Okay, that qualifies.
And I was like, I don't know what to do with this information. I don't know how you would rehydrate an entire, like, in little bits. Like, I get that, but like, I've never seen anyone try to rehydrate an entire steak before. That I think is the next level piece to that one. I also think just like the variety. Like, I think everyone's got rice and beans and that sort of stuff. When you're getting into like a wide variety, especially of freeze dried food, I think canning, like, a lot of people can do that. I think that's pretty standard thing. Mm-hmm. Packaged goods, okay, standard. Maybe you have a longer supply, but when you get into the freeze dried stuff, that's where you're spending a lot of money on a lot of different.
I wonder, is a freeze dryer bougie preps?
Oh, 100%.
Because that's quadruple. That's 4 digits. That's
I keep trying to come up with a way to rationalize that to my wife. I'm very close. I'm very close. If we hadn't gone to Disney World a couple weeks ago, I probably would pull the trigger on it, but I have to wait a little bit, I think.
What about solar panels for your house? Would you call those bougie preps, or is that just a good decision?
That's a tough one. I think. I think it depends on how, like, what this, because when you talk about solar, there's a lot of like tax credits and
that's true,
offsets and things. So is it a bougie prep, or is it a financial investment kind of a thing? And I think it depends on which state you live in and what the break even is.
I think we should just say solar panels do not qualify as bougie preps. They make too much sense more often than not. So.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's fine.
But maybe how about like maybe the Tesla truck for your bug out vehicle? Would that be a bougie prep, or would you be, or is that a little too much? Or I think it's still cool.
Would be fantastic. I love the idea of the cyber. Here's the deal. I love the idea of the Cybertruck, and then I saw the Rivian, and then I saw so I'm a bit conflicted now on like which of those I think would be the right one. But yeah, I think I think those are bougie preps, because I don't know people who are just going to drive around in them. Like, I feel like they are just a preppery type thing, based on all the features that the Cybertruck has. Like, you're not just doing that to like drive to Home Depot. Like, you're doing that for a reason, I think.
We should probably stop. We should probably stop what we're talking about now. We have Guardian Prepping is in the house now.
Oh my goodness.
Guardian Prepping's all the way from South Africa, I believe, and he's one of the nicest people on planet Earth. So
oh my goodness,
I'm a little nervous. Let's
we got Guardian Prepping showing up. We're getting to these next echelons. Like, I'm waiting for Nate or Chris to pop
in that's
at some point.
Well, when Sutton's Days comes, that's
when you know things have reached a level.
It goes big time. It's like LeBron James coming into your high school or something. Like, it's that level. So
it really is. I feel like we've gotten there. How about things like a boat?
Depends on the boat. Like, I guess I know a lot of people that want to have bug out boats though, and I have a friend, I can't say who it is, but local, that has a whole bug out route planned with his boat with certain caches at certain locations, and I don't know if it's bougie or not, or if it's just really clever.
I feel like there's also a very interesting
guess it
spot where
depends on the
like
size of your boat. I don't know.
it does. I mean,
Yeah.
what size of boat would you like to have?
Well, if
Do you need
it's
a
like if
small boat or a very large
if you have
boat? What
some
sort
kind
of
of
boat are we
yacht,
talking?
if you have like a bug out yacht, that's probably bougie preps. But if you have some like a little speeder boat that has like it's stocked up, I don't know. Maybe it is bougie preps.
I think the thing is there are certain things that you would buy not as a prep, but you could justify as being a prep
Yeah,
versus things you buy as a prep that are just expensive, maybe. Like
yeah,
maybe there's something like you buy a boat, you're not buying a boat as a bug out vehicle, you're buying a boat to go have a day on the lake.
yeah.
But it could also have a preparedness piece to it. And so you could kind of say, okay, there's maybe, we're going to allocate 10% of the value of the boat to preparedness stuff. Maybe, I don't know. What do we think? The chat is not, they're talking about sharks.
They're not. Yeah, they're talking about we jumped the shark. Is that what's
exactly? I think that's what's happened.
Yeah,
We've jumped the shark. That's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's one up in the air. I could go either way with it, and it's kind of like how like an underground bunker. I'd probably go either way for that being a bougie prep or not.
How about like an RV or like a trailer? Because we've talked about the prepping
I don't think it's
trailers.
bougie. Yeah, there's a lot of really not that expensive RVs that people have. Like how do I space in on the name? Wandering Beast, formerly Beast 12101. He has an awesome like RV that's like it's like the family mobile and they go on little trips, but it's not, I would not call it bougie at all. So
that's intriguing. Okay, yeah.
But if it's some like big touring bus like some rock star has and that's your prepping, then that would be a bougie bus.
No one would expect it. Like that's like the opposite of the gray man thing. It's like if you had like a tour bus, no one would expect you to be bugging out in that.
That's
thing.
like that's bougie bug out.
Yeah, exactly. They would be like, "Why is the circus in town? What's happening?"
Bougie bug out bag. I like that.
I like that. The BBOB. BBOB. Yeah.
Bug out bag. Okay, yeah.
Bougie bug out bag. Yeah, or it could be the B cubed. Three B's.
Bug out. It depends if you want to have out as a separate word, I guess.
Yeah, if it's hyphenated and if it counts in the we get a little technical on this channel. You learn some grammar.
There's some nerd stuff that goes on here. So.
Yeah. Yeah, the trailer is trailer looks retro, but it's brand new. I think like a teardrop, like the the Airstreams or something. I think those could be a bit deceptive. I think things like land. I get a little. There's a little. It's a little here and there on whether or not that's bougie or not. It's just expensive, but depending on where you are.
Yeah, it's going to depend. I'm going to say it's not bougie preps to have land, unless it's like you I don't know, like some coastal beachfront type out. Oh yeah, that's my bug out land.
Exactly, my bug out land on the coast where I'm.
But I think in
most earthquake and the
most
tsunami.
cases, it's probably not.
Yeah, Airstreams are the iPhones of trailers.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I have not done a lot of research.
Is an Airstream like a good Faraday cage though? Is that?
That's a really good question.
Yeah,
because then like that would have additional value. Then it's amazing.
Then it's awesome. So
exactly. So here you go, bougie prep. The Faraday bags that we have.
Yeah, Faraday bags are bougie preps. Because technically, I could put them in everything in a metal garbage can, I think, and it'd be cool. But I like the Faraday, like the Mission Darkness ones or whatever. They're bougie preps. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly. The ones that are gigantic too.
But I still like them.
Well, I mean, of course. What about like certain backpacks?
Yeah. Well, I already talked about the mono walker. I think that's a bougie prep, but that's not even a backpack. Let me think.
Because like I'm thinking like my 511, I all of my bags are 511. I love 511 bags. But they're spendy.
Yeah, they are.
And like I took one when we went to Florida because I figured, okay, it'll have great pockets, and I got one that looked a little more civilian, not as tactical. And it weighed a ton, and I was like, oh my goodness! I ended up just using the kids' school backpack that we had taken with us for the rest of the trip because it wasn't as heavy and it was a better functional bag for what we were trying to do. But I wouldn't trade, in a long-term situation, I wouldn't trade it for my 511s.
Yeah, I mean, I like the quality of like the 511s or the Vanquist or Maxpedition or any of those. I think some of the ones that have like integrated like electronics in it and stuff like that, those are a little bougie for sure. I think in general backpacks might not be bougie preps, but there's certain instances where you could make that.
Yeah, bougie prep, however it's spelled it, for me is something out of my budget range. Right now, that's a solar generator.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, we already said that like a Jackery is not a bougie. I don't think it's a bougie prep, but maybe the energy ones that like for talking more than $1,500, maybe that would be for sure.
Yeah. I think generators. All right, generators. In general,
generators not bougie prep. I don't think like a gas powered one or propane one.
So I feel like gas powered. Probably not bougie prep.
No.
But like I have a whole house natural gas generator. I feel like that is kind of a bougie prep, but also kind of not. It's like in between.
Yeah,
like does expensive just mean bougie?
I think it's still functional. I don't know if I'd put that one as a bougie prep.
All right. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better about myself because I
like if it required like a special like a different kind of gas, like I don't know, like
jet fuel,
cow farts or something. I don't like it. Oh, this is powered by organic cow farts. Then I'd call it a bougie prep or something.
It's called biomass or methane. Biomass. Yeah, exactly. Land with an underground system of pools and a movie center. See, Pony Girl has great ideas.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you have land with an underground system of pools and movie center, like you might as well use
any one of those like bunkers. Like I know a lot of people convert, or not a lot of people, but some rich people convert like under missile silos and stuff like that to an apartment complex. Anything like that, that's like is bougie prep for sure.
Yeah,
that's bougie. That's bougie prepping. That's bougie prepping.
Yeah. I think that's
like some timeshare or something. Like it's like a prepping timeshare for the apocalypse. Like that's bougie prepping. That's
all right. So here's okay. So we were talking about dollar amounts. So what about things like we were talking about this last week, the gold thing. So you would just got like 1/10 of an ounce, which is a little more attributable.
I think I lost it too. I don't know where it's on my desk somewhere. Yeah.
Wow. Don't tell Mrs. Pepper.
I'll find it. I'll find it eventually, but my desk is a little messy right now.
She's not even going to get the sprinkler. She will just give you the hose.
No, she wants the sprinkler tonight, but yeah.
So, but like an ounce is obviously like more, and then there's like the gold card that Canadian Prepper was talking about. He did a whole video on it, and I was a huge fan of the idea that it's an ounce of gold in a credit card shape that you can break up into pieces.
Yeah.
So obviously that costs more than just an ounce, and an ounce costs more than 1/10. Like, so it's kind of this interesting spot there about the value and then the additional utility.
Part of me wonders if gold might be more of a bougie prep, but not silver, because I think that most people like on the street, like us preppers know what the fair market value is or what the spot price is for these. But I think most normal people have no idea. Like there's a lot of videos like on YouTube with some guy going around, hey, I'll give you this gold coin or a Snickers bar. Oh, I'll take the Snickers bar. I don't know. That happens a lot. So
yes,
I don't know.
Kaylin,
yeah,
it is. Every piece of it is
a gram.
No, it's well, it depends on which ones you get.
Okay.
Some of them are like I got one that was an ounce and each of the breaks was 1/10 of an ounce. And then there were ones that were like 10 grams and every one was a gram. And then there were silver ones that were different. And I don't think there's a platinum one.
If I got a gold ounce card, there's no way I'm breaking it up. Like I just
I mean, it's a straight emergency thing of like, okay, the world has come to some sort of an end and like we need to figure this out. Real quick before we go on, this right here,
Bring back the
and
idea of Tub having a pontoon bug outboat vehicle named the Tub. Next Bougie Prep. Yeah, that's I like that idea. That's
I feel like when you get a boat, I feel like you need to name it the Tub. I feel like that's key.
I want to do a future episode where I'm not in my normal office. That it's I'm on the tub somewhere. I'm in the ocean.
I feel like we need to do like a remote version. Maybe this summer we'll do
I've been
some
wanting to,
because
I think I could technically probably have like my phone and prop it up somewhere and have like a different backdrop, and I think it'd be fun. So
yeah, all right, we'll set that up for future this summer. It'll be like remote, like Prep Talk Live and Unplugged or something. I don't know. We'll come up with that. I also can't help but notice it is 6:13, and you
so I'm starting to get some text.
Told me that you need to be out of here at 6:15. So I think in the interest of not getting you banned by your wife, and only getting the sprinkler once, we're gonna end this. We're gonna let you have a romantic night of whatever is happening. And thanks everybody for joining us. We appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the like button.
That was a fun episode. I like that one. I think we could have kept going for another hour.
First off, this is a fun episode. All of our episodes are fun. We are a fun group. That's number two. Number two,
we got Guardian prepping on this one though.
Exactly.
That made it brought it up.
New levels.
We were here, then it went there,
and then it was here. Exactly. And then we talked about sprinklers and poop, and it went up another level.
Sorry for breaking up the
the
closing statement.
I think what we'll do is we'll have to do a part 2 of this. Okay. I think we'll do, and maybe it'll be like remote from camping or something when everything is all set up or something. I don't know. We'll come up with something. But yeah, don't forget, Chuck has it right. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Download the podcast if you are a podcast fan. We're putting all the old episodes up there, and thanks again. We'll see you next week. We actually made it this week. We'll see you again next week. All right. Talk to you later.